Hancock County Chamber of Commerce, live on the road with you today, partnered with Reineke Ford for their EV event, teaching you everything you'd like to know about the EVs and the future of what those will look like. Ed Scheeter joins me. He's in the driver's seat. We're actually, as you can see in the background, we're out on the road in an F-150 Lightning. I think I got that right. But Ed,
yes, F-150 Lightning.
So the first thing that really stands out to me is we get in and you're like, yeah, it's on, and you hear nothing. It's so quiet. But let's talk a little bit more about the event that's going on today. This is really an educational opportunity for people to learn more about EVs. There's a lot of questions about EVs, but there's also a lot of good answers for EVs, and that's the goal for today's event.
Oh, absolutely. As I stated in the opening back at the dealership, right now, if you go to the internet, you go to social media, you go to whatever, there's a lot of good information out there. There's also a lot of disinformation out there. So we decided to team up with the Chamber of Commerce and hold this event. We are a full service electric dealer. We have the Mach-E available, we have the Lightning available, and we have the Transit available. So we do have both commercial and normal use vehicles, and we are certified to not only sell them, but to service them. We teamed up with, as I said, the Chamber of Commerce. We have Hancock Wood Electric in the building, and we have Frankfurt Electric in the building, that if you have any questions on the effect these electric vehicles can have on the grid, or you have a question on what it takes to get a charging system installed or anything like that, we can answer those questions for you from the professionals that do it for a living.
So let's talk. I'm going to give people a look at the interior while we're doing this, that people got up my head. But so you've been, you said you've been at this since the 80s, and electric vehicles were available then, but they weren't what they are now. It was very impractical.
We did have an electric Ranger available in 1988 when I started doing this. It was a very primitive vehicle. It was, I'm going to turn in here and turn around, but it was basically the whole bed full of batteries, and it ran on solid tires because of how heavy the vehicle was, because of the bed full of batteries. It only had a range of, I think, 26 or 28 miles, and it was a very primitive vehicle when it came to electric, but it was available.
So now we have the fully modernized electric vehicles, and more are coming on the market. One of the things the first thing that comes up probably to you is, what's the range? How far can I go on a single charge?
Yeah. Now this is this Lightning that we're in. It has a range of up to 320 miles based on conditions. We're pulling out here. For people that don't believe these are real vehicles, this has every luxury you can get. And if you're worried about performance,
it's got some torque to it, that's for sure.
I mean, that was a 0 to 65 run, and for the people that are watching that may have a shiny badge, I was in a 0 to 65 zone.
Yeah, we're good legally there. So,
but with it being electric motors, you have 100% of the torque available. There's not a transmission, so you have 100% of that torque available. Can you tow with an electric truck? Yes, you can tow with an electric truck. Can you haul 4 or 5 people comfortably in an electric truck? Yes, you can haul 4 or 5. This is the same cab and has many of the same luxuries as a Lariat F-150 with an internal combustion engine.
Talking to the guys at Frankfurt and Hancock Wood that are out at the event today about, first of all, installing the charger at home. It sounds like it's basically installing a dryer port or electric port for you. So that's nothing too far out of the ordinary. You can get that charging put in pretty easily. But the capacity on the grid seems to be there too, according to Hancock Wood.
Yes, yeah, especially in off-peak hours. And the cost of charging is another thing that, you have both the pros and the cons of it. We're not here to say that an electric vehicle is for everybody. We have them available as an option. The National Truck Equipment Association, when we went out to their show back, it would have been March of last year, the speaker that kicked the whole thing off, and these are the guys that do commercial vehicles for a living. They build them. They build the vehicles you see on the road that work for a living.
Yeah.
That have a job other than moving a person from point A to point B. And they predicted that 40% of the commercial vehicles sold by the year 2030 are going to be electric.
That's an impressive number. You mentioned the one thing you mentioned, no transmission. So, and you talked about this a little earlier today during a demonstration. That people hear that and they think, well, no maintenance, and you still do maintenance on it, but it's a little bit different. Schedules are going to be a little bit different on your maintenance schedule, so you have to.
You still have tires to maintain. You have a regenerative braking system, which is again something that's a little different. You may notice there's a little gauge over here that when I step on the brakes, you'll see. When you step on the brakes, you'll see down here, and that is where it will recharge a little bit of the battery from the momentum of moving forward, as those regenerative brakes collect that momentum and turn it back into power that will extend the range of the vehicle. So you have that whole regenerative braking system. You still have cabin air filters. You still have accessory drives and everything else you have on a windshield wiper blades, and you have all the stuff that is available on a normal vehicle that still need maintained. No, it does not need an oil change, and no, you don't have to have a transmission serviced in it, but there are still service intervals on the vehicle.
So that's something to definitely keep in mind, but makes sense. It's what you're going to do with anything like this. Last thing for you, obviously, the event going on till 10 today, but if people want to learn more about EVs, imagine just stop out, Reineke, anytime,
stop out,
just ask questions.
Yeah, stop out, see one of our professionals. We have, as I said, we can service them, we can sell them. We have the Mach-E, which is a passenger vehicle. We have it available. We also have the F-150 Lightning, which we're in a Lariat version of it now. Ford also offers the Pro version of it, which is more the work truck. And then we do have the Transit Electric, which is available from the short wheelbase, short roof, up to our extended wheelbase and high roof van, that if you need something for delivery that's electric power, we have that available to us also. And we do have commercial pros here that if you need it upfitted with shelving or something that makes it so that your business can use it, we've got that. We've got people here that have the answers on that also.
It's all very cool. It's great to be able to thank you for including us in this today. We always like talking about what's coming next and how it's going to impact businesses, and so you can see where our commercial businesses are going to have the opportunity to have electric. We'll see more electric charging stations out there, although there's plenty out there. And I think the question people
and again, you asked the question earlier about it, is you can see right here that commercial charging or electric charging stations are shown right on the navigation system. And when you plug in an address, it will give you not only your times from place to place, but where chargers are at that you can recharge on the way.
So it's all very cool. Again, you can stop out here till 10 today. The event's going on, but stop out anytime. The important thing on this is, like any new technology, it's not even necessarily new anymore, but any emerging thing like this, ask questions to the people who are working on it.
Yeah, ask questions to those of us that it's our job to know the answers. Again, I don't want to discount anybody that's out there that has an internet blog or is out on social media, because we're going out on it right now. But if you have a question related to this stuff, come to the people that have the right answers.
All right. Well, thank you for having us out today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you for coming out.
That'll do it for our live broadcast. We will be live from a ribbon cutting tomorrow afternoon at the Findlay Airport. Looking forward to joining you then. Have a great Thursday.